this art exhibit that is at the library. And first we're gonna go left. I love the frame that they used for this one. It's like a pop-out one where you could like, touch it and feel the texture if you want it. It says Seashell Gift Souvenirs. I like to make my own interpretations of what the art means versus what the artist might have said it is. So here I like to look for what texture, like paint like oil on canvas, and then the size of the painting, and sometimes the name of the painting. But I don't usually care too much about what they say it means because I like to say what it means. But yeah. Okay. I'm gonna continue to go left. And this is a watery one. Lots of blue colors. And right now it's a full moon in Cancer, and we know that Cancer is about the ocean initiating and creating, just like the ocean waves and the tides initiate and they move. And so, it's ruled by water, which is what's in here, and we know that water is backed and supported by emotions. This one is called Polar Plunge, so we know we can't be too far on the polar shift. We can't be too far on one end of the spectrum or we'll be unbalanced, and we also can't focus on being too balanced because then we'll be unbalanced. So like I said, I like to just make my own meaning and reasoning behind what I feel the art means or whatever. I really like I like that this is glass and this is where they put it, because you can see the different lights and the different shadows behind it. This is photography. This one was used with acrylic. And these are some of my favorite types of display cases, which is the display case itself, like the whole box, the whole set. I feel like this has to do with seasons, but I think the theme of this exhibit altogether is about seasons. And so this one says Majestic Mandarin Live Oak. And it's mixed media, which is my favorite genre of art because it's so broad. So they got one out here and they got one inside. So this one is called Nature's Color Palette. And it's like ambiance. I don't think these books are a part of this exhibit exactly, but they're right here. So we're gonna read what they say. This one is talking about the sunset, and this one is talking about calamity. So just like when I look at art and I make my own interpretation, whatever it is that's going around it, it could be the shades, it could be like the dust particles, it could be something that didn't necessarily mean to be there in the first place, but I feel like it's still a valuable part of the art process and how it's received. When you put your art out here for other people to see, it can be perceived in many ways, and environmental factors play a part in that. So when I see the title of these books, the colors of the books, and I'm looking at them, and it's 3 of them when it comes to this, I kind of see the whole thing like a scale. So if this particular art piece was on a scale, like when you weigh food at the supermarket and stuff like that. And I would say that the red and the yellow and the orange have a heavier emphasis than the green, but I feel like they all balance out in a certain way. But yeah, I know I spent a little bit of time on this one, but I really like these type of displays. And then it says calamity, which could relate to chaos. And it's talking about the sunsets and stuff. We know about the seasons, but to me, it just reminds me of like a seasons um, type of thing. So in this same section area, we have these over here. This is like a 3-part. I really like the colors they use. Before I see exactly what type of material they use, it looks like they use colored pencils, which is one of my favorite types of mediums to use, because it's so simple and it like reminds you of your childhood, you know. And it shows the artist that we always have been, because we always use colored pencils and crayons when creating art, and I love that. Well, it's mixed media, which is why I like mixed media, because it's so broad with the type of material you can use. Like, even though this is mixed media and it looks like this, and this is the material that's used, this is also mixed media, you know? And then if you get like a mixed media sketchbook, that more than likely is just like you can use any form and any type of material to make the art or whatever. I like this. It looks like they did acrylic oil on canvas. I'm not too familiar with oil paint. I have not ever used oil paint, but I do like the way it looks. So I probably will explore with that soon. But yeah, I really like this. I like that it has several frames. Like the frame that's inside is like 2, and then how it's 3 parts, and then, you know, it reminds me of like the transition, like when it comes to like caterpillars and stuff. But this is called Pansies Bright in Winter. And maybe after this, I'll read the whole definitions and the paragraphs about what they're saying it's about. But I just really like to use my own mind to come up with my own explanation or whatever. This is beautiful, nice and simple, which I like simple. It looks like the mountains in the back, the dark ones, are reflecting from the bottom ones, but it also just shows that there's distance in between the two. Oh, this also looks like in Puerto Rico, in Viejo San Juan, there is an area on a street called Fortaleza, and they have umbrellas. They call it the umbrella street, and the umbrellas look like that. And every couple months they change the umbrellas to look like something else. And it's pretty cool how I can see the different and they use watercolor for this. How I can see the different correlations in the paintings itself and the places I've traveled to, which is why doing art is some of my favorite ways to express. Not only just making my own art, but also going to different places to see art. I love just like the whole thing, the whole process. I love how like these are really shining. These birds are really shining with whatever material that they chose to use. This is another mixed media. And when you put mixed media, it's like an unknown type of thing, you know, where it has this level of like, you don't really know what it is until I tell you, but you can also look and come up with your own explanation about what it is. But they infinitely use different material right here than they did for the rest of it. I feel like they used acrylic, and I'm not sure what else. But yeah, I love how the painting for itself is the most part is very simple, and it has dark colors at the bottom. But this is like the main focus to me because I like how much detail they put into it, and they purposely made it shine and stick out than everything else on it. This one is called To Our Winter Home. And it does look like the temperature in this painting would be cold, maybe a little bit windy. But then also when you really, like if you keep it right here and look in the middle also looks like its own ocean wave, like it's traveling to go somewhere else. That's different than everywhere else. Like wherever the birds are going might not necessarily be the same place and location of where the middle of the painting is at. Like the middle looks like it's its own island, and then when you keep looking, it starts to look like a face. Then like, you know, like weather, tides, ocean, whatever. Like you know, like a snowstorm, basically. How we experience different type of seasonal weather. This looks like multiple seasons of weather that involve like the cold, the islands, like the hot, the beach, you know, like how at the beach it's like a lot of oceans, but then in cold climates there's also a lot of winter storms. I feel like this shows the different seasons, even though it's like simple. But when the more you look at it, the more you like see, or if you look from different angles. Which I feel like this is what it was trying to portray, regardless of what the actual definition of it is, you know? You can see multiple seasons. Like I said, the longer you look at it. Okay, moving on. I think that the theme of this side has to do with flying, like taking flight, and it's just shown through the birds. This one is photography. And it kind of looks like a place I've been before in like Long Island, I would say, or like when you watch documentaries and they go to the scene where you're at the beach and they describe whatever the water animals are doing over there. I feel like I've seen this in a documentary before. But yeah, I think these are seagulls, if I'm not mistaken. Which, like I said, the theme over here has to do with flying, but I also feel like it has to do with the sea. Not just sea as in water, but sea as in being able to see something from multiple angles. And I think, like you know how architectures make, they make their designs, and a lot of it has to do with how the people will like interact with that particular design. So they might build a house on a street where the plants smell really good because, you know, that's in their architectural design, whatever. So whoever put this painting next to this painting, let's see if it's the same person. Sunil. Yeah, two different people. But yet the themes of the paintings are the same. I'm not sure if the artists themselves like decided where these paintings will be, but I think this is a very good placement. Okay, next, this reminds me of that book where it's like the cover of it is like waves, like the type, like the painting style. I also like this because you can see the textures better. It's a lot closer to you. And you have the option of being able to touch to feel what it's like. This is oil paint. That's so crazy because, okay, I think it's because of the canvas. Because this is oil paint, but this one over here with the man that I talked to y'all about before is also oil paint. But it looks completely different on this canvas than the other canvas. Okay, so I'm gonna read this one. This one is called The Rainy Day. And it's by Peggy Harold Jennings. The size is 19 by 23. It's oil paint. And you can find it in the library. Oh, is it based off of like a book? It says format ebook. Okay, so I guess this is already a book. And you can find that book. And okay, publication date 18. Okay, so this is, oh, I knew this was familiar. All right, so this says, it rains and the wind is never weary. The vine still clings to the moldering wall, but at every gust the dead leaves fall, and the day is dark and dreary. Okay, that's not necessarily what I got from it. And that's why I don't like to really read what they be saying, because it kind of throws me off sometimes, to be honest. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. To me, it looks like she's waiting for whatever she baking in the kitchen to be done. She decided to read a book in the meantime and enjoy the rain while she can and the lights and shit. But I think it's cool. This is amazing. This is amazing. This look like, even though, like, you ever seen something and based off of the way it's done, it looks like the type of style, like how people can create their own styles. This reminds me of something. Okay, so this is called Camellias in Winter, or maybe Camilla. But to me, it looks like a portal, like a womb. Like, you know, like when we was in somebody's womb, you feel me? It was like that. Like it was like water. It was miscellaneous colors and stuff. And when we was birthed, the placenta that we came from is all different colors. Like some people's is gray, some people's is purple, some people's is red, and the middle part is like us. You feel me? Like we have something beautiful to bring, and it's like you know, bright regardless of what physical color we are. We're here to create our own vibe. So I feel like this is like square, not your circle. You know, your circumference or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And ooh, wow! Immediately when I saw this, let me show y'all. I was like, I want to reach in this painting and take out the corn so I know what it tastes like. And then I start to get closer, and I'm wondering like, what does it feel like? Wow. They used acrylic. Okay, so this part right here, it looks like somebody looking at the painting from their perspective right here. Like you know how you go to the movie theater, if somebody's walking past the camera thing in the back that's recording the movie, you will see their silhouette or shadow or whatever, which is look like this. That's so cool. I like that they did black with this background and that the corn is so bright. Wow. This is my favorite so far, I would say for sure. And it looks like you'll be able to feel so much texture from it, which is what acrylic does. But they did something. It's almost like, okay, I wonder if they used acrylic and something else. Or maybe they used, like when you use acrylic, you can add certain substances to the acrylic to make the finished result different. And I could tell they did that. Like right here, you see how that part